Everybody, this is Emar Substitute, the Sports Inquirer, and happy to be joined by head coach of Georgia State Baseball, Brad Stromdahl, as the team is progressing through its conference schedule. Brad, thank you for joining us. First time we've spoken since the regular season has started. How are the Panthers looking, and how do you assess where you are at this portion of the season?
Oh, we're looking great. I mean, we've been plugging along. We've had some tough competition. We've played, I believe, 7 games of top 25 opponents, and really prepared us in the beginning of the year for where we're at right now. Getting into conference, we have 8 weekends, and it's just really looking forward to seeing how we continue to take steps forward. And so, just really refining and tuning, and we kind of have our lineup set. We have our 11 or 12 guys that we go to predominantly every weekend, and pitching seems to be pretty good. And so now we gotta play clean. We gotta play with a good set of emotion, and just really put one foot in front of the other, and good things will happen.
Yeah, the team is second in the conference in batting average, led by Griffin Cheyney, who leads the conference in average. What's it been about the hitting and the guys just being able to put together some good streaks and good form together to be hitting close to 300 as a team?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've, going through the stretch that we've gone through, we've really been able to execute well our plan. And so, what Coach Davis and Coach Monteo have been doing on the offensive side of the ball is simply awesome. And so what they've really done and is really install a sense of ownership within each pitch, each at bat. What we're trying to do, and we have some bigs, and kind of putting that together from top of the lineup to the bottom of the lineup has been really good. And so those guys have just done a good job of executing the plan, and then we've executed the plan when it comes to the players on the field doing what they're supposed to do and not trying to do too much. And I think we lead the league, or we're close to leading the league in home runs, and it's a matter of putting barrels on balls, and when you hit the ball hard, good things happen. And sometimes they get caught, but more often than not, they're going to find a place to fall. And we're just really excited that to be right where we are, and just kind of continue on down the stretch the last half.
Yeah, what about Cheyney leading the conference and hitting so far this year? What about his start, and what do you think has led to him being so strong at the plate so far?
Yeah, no, he's been amazing. I mean, he's done such a good job, and he's a 5th-year senior. He got the extra year with COVID, and it kind of just goes to show what can happen with a player who just sticks with his plan over the course of his entire career. And so, he really is just very cerebral about what he's doing, and how his approach is, and what he's swinging at, and very selective. And he knows, just because he's had 1,000 at bats in his college career, that good things are going to happen when he's patient and he swings at his pitch. And really, that's probably been the biggest reason for his success, is that he really just kind of understands his own swing and where he's going and what he's doing, and he doesn't go outside of his zone. And so, it's a lesson that we like to teach our other kids too, and he's an example for our team, and we're just really happy for him all the way around.
Yeah, and then what about a guy like Cameron Jones, who hits a home run and gets a save in your last one against Monroe? He's second on the team in batting average. What about having a versatile guy like that for you to be able to use in different ways?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, he's truly one of just a handful of players in college baseball that can do these things at such a high level. And so, he's our 3-hole hitter. He's our first baseman. He's our closer. Last year, he did a lot of starting. I'm not exactly how many games he started, but it's probably close to 10 last year. So, he has the mound presence, but, when it comes to starting as a pitcher, when we have such depth on our pitching staff, that it kind of serves us best to be able to use him in a long relief / closing role. And so, he's kind of done the same thing. We went through the SEC East last year. We won 12 games in conference. We won a conference tournament game for the first time since 2014. And, he was a huge piece of that. And as we continue to move forward and what we're doing, he's been able to put us in a position to win some baseball games, and offensively and on the mound. And I'm really happy for him and for us. And it's part of who we are. we're going to do multiple things on the field.
Yeah, what about a guy like Chad Treadway, who, and we saw, I think Kevin Const from Arkansas last year, National Player of the Year, will start some games, be relievers, saves, things like that. He's kind of your version of that. I think he has 4 wins so far this year with double-digit appearances, a save to boot. What about having an arm like that you can really stick in at any portion of a game to get you some innings and even get some wins for you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we don't, as you probably know, we don't really go with a traditional closer. We think that, if we need to stop a run or their lineups at the top of the order in the 7th inning, that's the most important inning for us possible to put up a 0. And so, his saves and all the stuff that everybody kind of looks at aren't necessarily going to be high up there on the list, but it's definitely something that is invaluable to where we go and how we win some ball games, because he puts up 0s, and that's really ultimately the thing that matters. He had 2 walks, his first 2 walks of the year were at Louisiana Monroe this last weekend, and it was really, really a tight zone, and he had to battle through some stuff, but he's able to mentally get to a place where nothing bothers him. He picks up the next ball and throws the next pitch, and it's a truly special thing. And so with Jones, with Treadway, with Watson, if you kind of look at what we do, how we go about it, Friday nights, Brandon Kaminer starts for us and gives us 5 or 6 or 7, and those 3 guys, whichever the best matchup is those guys go. And so it's a fun little 4 or 5-headed monster that we have going on.
Has that been a change in the trend in college baseball or even professional baseball, where it used to be try to get 8 innings and you have your closer, the Mariano Rivera role, because you're your best closer, get those final 3 outs? Are you starting to see more guys like you have maybe your best arm, just put them in the 5th or 6th inning when there are multiple batters on the bases, instead of trying to save them for that 9th inning clean inning? Do you kind of see the trend going in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, it depends on, there's so many variables that go into that. But for us, I can speak for us, is that, the more 0s we put up, the more percentage says that we're going to win a baseball game. And so from that standpoint, we don't really care about ERA and all of that other stuff. What we're trying to do is we'll put up a 0, whether the bases are loaded, whether you strike out 3, if that guy who's out there on the mound puts up 0s, it gives us a chance to win. And so I do think there's a trend. I do think the starters are not going quite as long, but in college baseball, you get the coaches that'll ride somebody 130 or 140 pitches, and they're doing a great job, and that works for them, and that's awesome. And you have the other ones that are a little bit more on our side, where we try to keep them 60, 70, 80, 90, depending on where the lineup is and how they're doing. And you got the back end horses to be able to put up 3 or 4 0s at the end of the game.
Would you ever see yourself going a Kevin Cash Tampa Bay approach with and Milwaukee does it to a council, the opener? I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Maybe an opener goes the first inning or 2, and then you kind of work your way through a game. Have you ever considered that in your scenario?
Not. I mean, yes, we have, but we feel like those guys are better served at the end of the game at this moment in time. And plus, our opener is kind of our starter. I mean, in some regards. 2.5, 3 times through the lineup is what they get. And, and they're good enough to get those guys out. And it's been proven. So we don't necessarily have to do that. If you could get a starter that was going 7 or 8 every single time out, then that's when you kind of might consider doing, an opener like for 7, and then that'll get you in the 8th or 9th right away. So, there's many ways to look at it, but I'm not ready to go there quite yet, but you never know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know you're preparing now for South Alabama, and he's looking at the conference standings. I think between 1st and 5th or 6th is only 1 game, and no one's really jumped out so far with the undefeated mark in conference play. What have you seen from South Alabama? And just looking at some of the box scores from around the conference, what have you noticed so far?
Yeah, no, they're great. I mean, they're a great team. But in all accounts, yeah. Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, by all accounts, it's it's one of the top conferences in the country. And right now we're 5th in our RPI as a conference, and it's there's no easy weekends here at all. And so it's a testament to our side of the division, where, we have, Georgia Southern, us, Troy, Coastal Carolina, South Al. I mean, it's a tough juggernaut, and we have to play all those guys. And the other side is kind of getting beat up on a little bit, but that doesn't mean that they're not a very good. They're not good. They're exponentially better than a lot of conferences out there. And so, just going to the Detroit weekend, we know we're going to see 90-93 with good sliders, and kind of refer back to what our schedule was in the beginning of the year, is that playing those Power 5 teams prepares us for when we see a great team like South Alabama and Troy and Georgia Southern and, all those teams that have put things together. So, it's exciting to be able to go in, to South Alabama being 4-2, and they're 4-2 as well. I'm glad we're playing them at home. They have a big ballpark. Our ballpark suits us a little bit better than going down there to Mobile, but, it doesn't matter. It's a matter of competing in the zone, on the mound, and taking good pitches and having a good approach at the plate.
Yeah, and conference just got tougher. You might have been doing some other business, but the official word came down. It's been rumored for months now, but you have Southern Miss, Old Dominion, I think James Madison, and Marshall now joining the conference. So it seems like the rich get richer with the Sun Belt. Those are some teams that have made some regional and super regional appearances in their within their time. So just your thoughts on that.
It's fabulous. I mean, it's great to have Southern Miss, who's a perennial top 25 team. Old Dominion, same thing. Marshall's on its way up. They got a brand new facility going in, and James Madison has great facilities, and they're a good program. And so, it makes our side, it changes our side for sure from the East and the West, just from a travel standpoint. How Troy, I don't know exactly what it is, how I would assume Troy and South Al are out of our division. They would be on the east side. And so, instead of having maybe one flight a year to Texas State or UT Arlington, we might have 2 or 3 or 4 flights, going to James Madison and Marshall and Old Dominion, and however the schedule falls. And, Coastal Carolina is still an 8-hour drive for us. So, we went from kind of the center of conference to, we're a little bit further away, but, it doesn't matter. From a baseball standpoint, it's fabulous. I mean, you only want your conference to get bigger and better year in and year out, because it gives you a better chance to go either get in that large bid, be able to win the conference outright. You get a good national ranking, good national seed. So, we're excited for everybody coming in, and, I think there's a lot of conferences going the other way, and, I'm glad that, we made the move when we did, and continue to, take steps in the right direction.
Well, Brad, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and good luck this weekend against South Alabama.
Cool. Thanks, man.